And then talking about more encounters that you've had, one being Ray Codrington, who you said you played with.
Yeah, Ray Codrington was a brother friend of mine who took me in. Right? Basically took me into his home. I was, down in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I was associated with a band, and so I'm still a baby guitar player. But he had a jazz band playing in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He asked me to sit in, and he said, "Man, you sat in on my guitar player," and he said, "You sounded more soulful than him." I said, "Man, I don't play no guitar, man." He said, "No, you play some soulful stuff." He said, "No, you play some good notes." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Man, can you show me some of those drums you know how to play?" I said, "Sure, man, anytime." So we became friends. He was a very special person to me because he was a band leader, and he had at least one or two bands of handicapped people. So this is a man with a heart that is like the size of a city. This was Ray's heart. So just a great man here. Huge patience. Great player too. And he knew the cats in Washington, like Eric Dolphy. I think he ran that name. He knew of Train. I don't know if he hung with him, but it was like they were all brothers, man. They knew of each other. Right? No doubt about that. Right? And so I miss him. He was a great cat, man. He gave me my first chance to play in Fayetteville, right, North Carolina. Then I think after that I got into the Army band, and then I left from there. Moved on from there. So this is part of my musical history.
Sure.
Sweet people, great musicians, soulful, heart people. It was about heart, it wasn't about color. It was all heart, man. Tone, sweetness.
Sure. And then at one point,
Yes.
Ray was telling you to go check out Oscar Pederson,
Oh, his
right?
friend. He had a friend. Right. Oscar Pederson was his friend. Pederson. And he said, "Hey, if you go up there, man, tell Oscar, you know me," and I said my best to him. So I actually went up. Oscar was playing in Toronto with Louis Belson on drums. And I said, "Hey, Ray Codrington." "Ray?" I said, "Yeah. You're my friend, Ray." He said, "Beautiful man. Thank you. It's a good connection with Oscar, who's a really like jolly, exuberant, human piano monster." Happy cat, big time, man. Right? Very happy cat. Lift you up just like in 1 second. He lift you up. Right?
Yeah, sure. And then you had an encounter on the street with James Moody, who was saying something about your guitar, maybe hanging out of your case or something. Or?
Yeah, he was walking behind me. I don't know what condition I was in at that point. This is in Toronto. And he said, "Hey man, your guitar is falling out of your case." "My name is James Moody." And I looked at my guitar with falling. "Thank you, James. That's cool." Encounter with him. Yeah. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sure.
Thank you, James.
And then Eddie Harris.
Eddie Harris, too. Yeah, I had a chance to encounter with Eddie Harris in a music store. And we were looking at each other. I had no name, so I really couldn't say anything, but I recognized Eddie Harris. I think he was a composer of Freedom Jazz Dance. And so, he said, "Man, if you want to live long, you got to be doing more than music." And I thought that was a very good, insightful thing to hear from a known and respected jazz man who you would think would be all into music, maybe not much else. But I'm glad he said that. I remember him. Thank you, Eddie. I don't know where he is or what he's doing now, but yeah, I had these encounters with these players, serious players.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great summary, and I mean, I think that that shows absolutely shows up. You know.
But I have one more for you.
Sure.
I have one more. It just came to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing a gig on Young Street in 1971. The afternoon gig, like with Bobby D playing organ and other players at the time. And some cats come and they're waving me like off the bandstand. And I'm up there, I'm doing the show at the Zanzibar. And then all of a sudden, man, there's a guy saying, "Hey, I'm Lenny White, the drummer, and he's Stanley Clarke, the bass player, and we're taking you to the Colonial to play with Joe Henderson." And I said, "Really? You guys crazy?" They packed me up. We got in the cab. And we went straight to the, what do they call that? The matinee. And I played with Joe Henderson the matinee and the evening gig. And Lenny, I think with Lenny or Stanley said, "Hey man, you ready to come on the road or something?" Not to necessarily play with Joe, but maybe play with them. I said, "No, I'm raising my kids. I can't go anywhere." But the vibes were very excellent between these guys. They were very strong. I appreciated them. And Stanley said, "No, it was a lot of fun playing with you, man. It's easy to play with you." I remember that, Stanley, if you hear this. Yeah, you and Lenny, man. Best cats. Excellent. Well, you have that too.
Great.